go. Let's see, what is this that I got still on my clipboard? Oh, no, that's not it. That's the last video. Well, that'll come up after this one anyway. When the thing flies by at the end, to the very end of the video, there'll be a thing fly by in the last few seconds. Ow! 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 Well, whatever. I'll just type. I already fucking put it in. So tap space. There we go. Clear that. So yeah, these. I don't know if that was people attacking the network or what that was. Hey, I still got this. Can I make this fucking burn? No, probably not. So fuck that. Okay, so it's almost 647 in the fucking. Not AM here. Universal. Damn it. Damn it. No, I did not Jones for cigarettes at all the entire time I was in there. That's interesting because in 2018 I smoked a commercial fucking tobacco for 2 months. And then I couldn't stop chain smoking for 2 years. Oh, that was pleasant. But apparently the air in the Toronto South Delta, Chelsea, is so damn well circulated and ventilated. I get more than enough oxygen that my lungs aren't starving for oxygen. And by the way, could you please stop clogging the air vents in there? That's your air vent, eh? Like, they keep, I don't know if it's like a paranoid thought, like there's something bad in the fucking air or something. That's basically air from the rooftop. And if it's not from the roof, it's coming from the side of the building, but that's neither here nor there. When you're on the pod, look up at the ceiling and you will see AHU and then a number. It said number 9 on the one I was on today. Stands for air handling unit. I'm estimating, but I think they're 2 feet by 3 feet on the one end. I think because it's 30 feet up in the fucking air. And it's 24 inch, and then it downsizes from 24. It could be 30 to 24 to 18, or it's 24 to 18 to 12. I'm not sure. The duct gets smaller as it goes along. And then there's also ducts that force fresh air into every room. They call it a room because there's no bars anymore. This is a door. You'll die if you fucking seal that off, eh? And people keep putting fucking toilet paper and toothpaste. You know why it's so fucking powerful to breeze and it's so fucking noisy? Because you idiots keep clogging it up. And the air has nowhere to go, so it's forcing its way out through whatever opening there is. If you cleaned all of them at once, it wouldn't fucking happen. So they've got these grills that are like 6 by 10, 6 by 9, something like that. 5 by 5.5 by 9 or something. I don't have a measuring tape in there. I know, I want to get a tattoo of a measuring tape and a fucking compass yeah, on my fucking hand somewhere. Like along here or something, like 1 centimeter, 2 centimeters. I'll get metric on this side and imperial on this side or something. So I'm a real engineer. I'm Dutch. You're not locking me in a room without my tools. You might think you are, but you're not. Hey, I didn't even say Afro Dutch that time. That's common across the entire culture, motherfucker. And they've got these. So I guess it's probably stainless steel. Is probably what it is. But it's been painted, so you can't tell. But it's got little tiny holes, about 1/8 of an inch. It's got hundreds of these holes that are 1/8 of an inch across. The idea being that it still serves the function of a grill, so that you can't block the opening and things won't fall into it or anything, and that you won't hide things in there. These motherfuckers use up the toilet paper for that and the toothpaste. And you wonder why they don't want to give us fucking toiletries, man. That's why. But you'll tear open the fucking plastic food packaging with your teeth. That'll wreck your fucking teeth sooner or later. But the COs will offer you if you ask them how the hell you're supposed to open it, they'll say, you want a pencil? They'll give you the pencil because you assholes don't write nothing down useful. You write down fucking weird shit all over the walls. Now I get it. You're letting it out of your system. So I'm not saying, no, that's bad. It's a pencil on this paint that you can't fucking damage the paint anyway. So, like, what's the fucking difference? And you can use the shoe. I don't have the shoe with me, but the front part of the shoe, or any part of it, is just, it's the cheapest rubber. It's the same as an eraser. You can erase all that weird shit off the wall quite easily if you're in there looking at it and it pisses you off. If you don't know what I'm talking about. Lately, if you go to jail, you stay in your fucking cell, period, no matter what type of offender you are, no matter where you are, you just stay in your cell. Yeah, fuck you. Fuck you. COVID. COVID said fuck you. So, and that's why you need that fresh air. Because I'm telling you right now, if one guy's on the bottom bunk and the other's on the top, if you've got that fresh air coming in, and there's a return vent about 2 feet from it, I guess. And there's a smoke detector right in between it. There's like a fire smoke detector or whatever right in between it. All those smoke detectors are all wired together with the fire alarm system and everything else. The fire alarm went off today. I don't know why. They will ever tell us. And the air handlers shut down. Bang, like that. AHU, air handling units, or air handlers, which basically means a big metal box with a fan inside, but it could also have an air conditioner, a dehumidifier, a heater, have a bunch of other shit, but the basic unit is a metal box with a fan. Although, if there was no fan, you can still set it up to push into the wind so it'll catch the wind like a wind catcher. So I need to get fucking high. There was music playing 2 minutes ago, forgive me, I'll put it back on soon. I take a great interest in all this stuff. The engineering of that building is incredible. If there was no more reason for people to be put in jail, but you had to have like some sort of like detox retreat or something, like take a week off work and self-isolate. You people pay money to go into isolation tanks. We're in the fucking SEG unit, banging on the fucking doors. Don't do that, by the way. You piss everybody off. Don't piss me off. I don't care. I'm used to it. I'm from Queen Street West. Oh, nice. This nice piece here. Now, considering I thought this would get me through Sunday or Monday. It's now the next Saturday. So, Your Honor, I'm not saying that the system you work in here of incentives and disincentives is not working in my case. It is really not my fault. So I guess I'll be dealing with Aboriginal Legal Services. That's fine. I got phone numbers to call for this reporting place. I couldn't find phone numbers. I don't know how the fuck people. Here you go, asshole. Go find it. I don't remember ever seeing this shit written down on a piece of paper. They're telling me they gave it to me. I can't find the shit. This is my fault. Somehow I don't have 26 fail to complies. I should, or fail to reports, or whatever the fuck you call it. Something tells me they're going to tell me to report over a fucking video link. Anyway, so I'm not sure anymore. I've been expecting the cops to show up and arrest me for that for fucking 3, 4, 5 months now, and they didn't, so I'm getting very confused. If nothing else, if they come arrest me, they'll figure this out for me, motherfuckers. How the fuck do I report to these people? And if you want to know what the issue is, a bunch of issues here. When I search the address on the internet, all I can find is one reference to it being a sex offender reporting center. Oh, really? I've got several reasons I'm not comfortable with that. And one of them is I'm being accused of shit already, and I have a doppelganger, and I don't know this motherfucker. I don't know what he does. People see me going in and out of there, and then they confront me on being this other guy because of this or that. Because bear in mind, I don't know him, so I don't know his fucking friends that are fucking yelling at me in the street and shit. My friends don't know him either, right? Like, they don't know there's two, and they wouldn't fucking notice him anyway because he don't dress like me or act like me. That much I know. I've seen he's a preppy motherfucker. In the one photo I seen, I wouldn't have sat for a picture looking like that motherfucker. Anyway, yeah, I'm gonna get fucking killed because some other motherfucker that's a child molester looks like me or some shit. I don't know what the fuck it is. I don't know what the fuck that's about. And I can't. How do I fucking bring that up? Like, what if I didn't know I had a doppelganger? Right? Wouldn't be a problem, right? I would just get killed out in public somewhere. No, but because I know and I don't want to die, for that reason anyway. Fuck. Turn on the news. So they're going on and on about the numbers are down, and they're like, oh, there's hot spots popping up everywhere thanks to Delta variant. Oh, you can't see it. I got a big letter D. I guess maybe you can. So that comes from a scanner darkly. If you're wondering where a scanner sickly comes from, the drug, the Detroit dope, death. Ow, damn it. You don't get a head start on me. I'm still rolling this. I'll start the music up in a second. I tried to take a piss out front of the jail and I couldn't. I don't give a fuck if the judge hears that. Because all it is pissing in public. Write me the fucking ticket. Oh, you can't. You're COs. Even under the authority they have on the property, they can't fucking do nothing to me for that because they can't write that fucking ticket. I don't think. They might have the authority. I don't think they have the fucking paperwork. Yeah, they print it off. I know. Everything in this fucking place runs on computers. When they turn all the lights out and you look up at the ceiling, you can see little green lights flashing. There's Ethernet and Wi-Fi. I don't know how much Wi-Fi they have. There's Ethernet all over the fucking place. They got Ethernet telephones. That's interesting. You know, unplug the telephone, bring it anywhere else in the building, plug it in. Guess what? It's still got the same phone number, the same extension or whatever. Or it should, I think, depending how that's set up. Depending how it's set up, that's the beauty of Ethernet phones. You can set it up like that. The irony, I'm thinking, of the fact that I own a payphone, but I can't use the phone. They fucking... So on the first... So I get... Instead of going for a bail hearing on Tuesday, they put it on Wednesday. Why? Because that's Gladue Court. They sit on Wednesdays. Okay, then we find out they don't do bail hearings in Gladue Court anymore. Oh, I wasn't aware of that, but I thought people that work in the industry would be. Oh, so we're not doing it Wednesday. We didn't do it Tuesday. We're not doing it Wednesday. When are we doing it? No, Friday. Oh, thank you. Yeah, so this went from Monday to fucking Friday. Thank you. And then, and the being arrested on the weekend doesn't make a huge issue anymore because if you get on Friday, then you get bail hearing on Saturday. If you get picked up on Saturday, bail hearing on Sunday. And if you get picked up on Sunday, well, tomorrow's Monday. I'm in the fucking bed. So, Jesus, this was fucking fucked up. While I'm in there, I'm talking about how I need to be able to make phone calls, and I don't have a PIN number. They let me out of the friggin' video hearing, the video booth. Oh yeah, it's high tech, Commander Cisco shit. I'm not even joking. It ain't Jean-Luc Picard or Captain Kirk. It is Commander Cisco. Look up at the top of the thing. It says Cisco. Oh, Cisco systems, Cisco routers, and all that shit. As I'm getting back into my room, I'm being escorted. I feel very secure with all these. Well, what's CO stand for? Is that short for counselor? Counseling? So it's like camp counselor, camp officer. I'm not making fun, I'm making light. The next one shows, I say something about a pin. The sergeant, I believe he's a sergeant. I could be wrong. In my head, I'm pretty sure it was a sergeant. He could just be one of these RoboCop motherfuckers. They look like, now remember, they don't have guns. And their vests are not the simple Kevlar. They're the stab-proof vests with the big steel plates. Police officers don't run around with that shit on because it's so heavy. These guys have to, because they're not going to get shot, but they will likely at some point in your career as a corrections officer, someone will try to stab you. I'm going to just tell you that right now. If you become a corrections officer, and there's nothing wrong with that, it's a job. I'd rather nice people get the job than dickheads. Someone will eventually try to stab you. And if they don't, if you make it all the way through your career and they don't, you'd be like, hey, I won a lottery. So they got these big metal plates in their fucking thing. The guy fucking comes back 2 minutes later. Here's your, oh yeah, they did. Here's your pin. It's a piece of paper I got here. I threw it in there. So you get mine's 7 digits. So something to do with the pandemic, they decided that you no longer have to make collect calls to everybody. I don't see the connection either. I understood it in November. Now I don't. They give you a 7-digit PIN so you can dial out direct. And every month they top up your... Oh, it's because of the visits. That's right. There's no more visits to correctional facilities in Ontario. So they now give, if I remember correctly, I could be wrong, I think it's $20 every month and there's no carryover. What it gets topped up to $20 on the at the beginning of the month. I presume that would be the first because that'd be simple. And I think it's 50 cents a call, just like a payphone, but I don't remember. I tried to commit it to memory. The pin, he slides the pin. My celly said, "Oh, he kites it around the fucking door, old school." Yeah, because it's just a piece of paper, slides right around the door. Thank you, sir. Plexiglass wouldn't allow that. He doesn't need a key. He knows his way around the fucking facility, Your Honor. He doesn't need no goddamn keys. He can break his way in and out if he had to, I bet. Oh, yeah, he's black. All the COs I got along with are black. No, not to say I don't get along with the ones that are white, but all the ones I don't get along with are white. It's not all the white ones. It's just all the ones I don't get along with happen to be white. Okay, so I make a scene. I make noise. Why? They want to keep things copacetic and quiet. There's people analyzing video all day long, trying to figure out how to keep the costs down and all these other things. Sooner or later, it will pop up somewhere. If someone has sickle cell, keep these white people away from them if they don't know medicine. Oh, now I can make phone calls. Can I go make a phone call? No, it's locked down now. Motherfucker. Today, so my name starts with V. It actually starts with K, but it's when you bring a Dutch name to Canada, it now starts with V. They fucking, and that's thanks to Napoleon. I'm gonna steal your language. You're gonna force me to have a last name? Je ne veux pas. Never mind. The CO that's been on the range all fucking day comes to get me. Says, "Oh, you're going to court." Okay. Fucking. I swear, within 60 seconds, he comes back, opens the door to get me. Another CO pops up, bing, like a jack in the box. Where'd he come from? Oh, you're not going to court. What? You're not going to court today. That's what they told me. You're going like tomorrow or next week or something. What? That's what they told me on the phone. The first CO locks the door. Thank you. And then some hours go by and they come get me. And I'm the last on the list every time. 3:30, I find out I'm making bail. 4 o'clock's dinner. Yeah, I want to give the guy my dinner. I think I told this on the last video, which is that one actually. Because he's going to be there tomorrow and I won't. I can go hungry for a little while. I'm going to be at home smoking weed and cigarettes. Now, I did eat the food because he basically gave it back to me. Why? He's dope sick. And now he's not dope sick. And then he is, and then he isn't. They're fucking with his doses of methadone. If you're going to give somebody a fucking... If you want people to stay off drugs by giving them another drug, you can't do that to them. They're handing out weird pills in this fucking place, too, that nobody knows what they are. It's good. It's a narcotic. What? So buddies are just banging them, right? Why wouldn't they? Like, swallowing them, I should say. But they don't know what they are. They wouldn't tell them what they are. He said it was some, or they didn't explain, like, it was some new name he never heard of or something. Like, he didn't know what the fuck it was. I wonder if that was a Subaru, a Honda, or a Volkswagen. 3:30. So around 10:30, 10:45, he says for like the 4th time, "Eat that." It's like, okay, thanks, I'll eat that because he's giving it back to me now. So fucking, it was curry beef with rice and corn, which on the one big dish was curry with some beef in it, and then there was corn in the one little thing and rice in the other one. Yeah, the best. If you don't like those, now they do that for a reason. If you don't like certain things, you don't have to eat that. You can trade it with somebody else. And if you just eat, oh, I'll eat this plain rice, then I'll eat this plain corn, then I'll eat, you're fucking crazy. You're supposed to mix all that shit together in the proper proportions. You can fucking dip it in whatever. I've got the cardboard spoons here. I've showed you before. It's ecosecurity product, no, ecosecurity utensil, ecosecurityutensil.com. Thank you, Maxwell House, Kraft, Heinz, and everybody for all those weird things. I don't know why they're not giving us the prepackaged fruit cups. It's probably cheaper to do it the way they're doing it now. They're giving us like a styrofoam dish with a lid with a whole bunch of like cut up fruit and shit in it. Buddy's like, what is that, mango, papaya? I'm like, I don't fucking know. I just ate it. These ones are fucking pineapple. I don't know what those red ones were. I didn't recognize it. I just ate it. If you get one of these dishes with a lid, keep the lid in the morning. Put in the sugar. If you like the coffee whitener, go for it. If you don't, don't. I don't know how much protein's in there. The instant coffee, the fucking shitty cereal, and the milk. Put the lid on top and shake the fuck out of that motherfucker. That is the best breakfast shake you could have. When it comes to the tea, you generally won't have access to hot water, so I will tell you a little story about how the tea bag was invented by accident, and then the next part I tell you will make perfect sense. When the tea bag was basically invented, the tea distributor, whatever, sent out samples to people, I guess in the mail or so. I don't fucking know. That part of the story is not important. The tea came in little paper pouches. I don't know if he used really thin paper or what happened. A lot of people wrote him up and said, hey, that tea was pretty good, but we really like this idea of putting in the little paper pouches. That was ingenious. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? They were putting the whole tea bag, the whole packet of tea, just throwing it in the cup because it was just one fucking serving of tea, or in the pot or whatever you do, and putting boiling water in. So the tea stays in the little package. The guy invented it by accident. If you don't have hot water, this is a waste of fucking time. Rip the tea bag open, dump the tea into the cup, mix it with sugar and water, and just swallow the tea. It won't hurt you. But you will get all the caffeine. If you're trying to, if you're trying to steep the caffeine into the water, it's not going to work. That's the wrong alarm. That's why I turned that one off. So I don't know what shut us down last time, but I think it's because I have too many browser tabs open, so I'm going to keep this simple. Shorty got pneumonia while she got the bird flu.
If you're looking for me, I'll be on the block. Ain't caught possibly sitting on the drop. Haters wanna hate, they spots wanna spot. When haters is snitches, they get popped on my block. Like everybody acting like hating out reaction. Like hustle on the block, I call it a transaction. Like you don't fuck with flat, I'm like, come on baby, back on right.
So I notice weird things. Okay, so in jail, they will put you through a body scanner, or so they have these metal detector seats. They make you sit down on a seat. It's a metal detector. Why? Because there's guys that will stick a knife up their ass and fucking try to get from one jail to another to go get somebody. Or one unit to another, or whatever. But the jail doesn't really give a fuck about how often or when you shit. I guess unless they thought the immigration, customs, all that shit, not immigration, but customs enforcement and shit has that type of, what do they call them, a dry cell? There are dry cells. Basically, your toilet doesn't go anywhere. Because they can't fucking they can't cut open your stomach and take out what you're smuggling, but they can wait for it to fall out. On the other hand, the psych ward, what are you smuggling? All the drugs are in the psych ward. You don't know you're going to the psych ward. And there's basically, you're not going from place to place, and you're not making a knife and trying to smuggle it somewhere. You're on a fucking hospital ward with 30 other fucking people already. Every fucking day, every fucking time they talk to you. When was your last bowel movement? What was it like? I'm having one right now and it's shitty. I don't understand why that's how I know the people that work in medical are a little weirder than the people that choose to work in a jail.
I got cocaine, marijuana, shit don't stop. I get your teeth knocked out if you're out on my block. I got the steel cock shout if you ain't on top. And then the boys call me rich man, call me pretty boy.
It comes from somewhere between Ontario and BC, sir. I have no idea. So like jail or detention, I guess. Might as well call it detention. I can go to school now. I got detention for a week. Damn it. Uh, you're not showing up to school. We're gonna expel you. I love these signs on the psych ward that say if you it's basically if you are violent or threatening, they can ask you to leave, and they can even have the police come remove you. I'm like, okay, so all I got to do to get off the psych ward is start flipping out, and you'll just have me removed? Really? I can just leave? Oh, it doesn't work that way. All these places, whether it's even your house, walking down the street, you only going to get out of it what you want to get out of it, what you put into it, whatever. When I'm in these facilities, I'm looking at all the engineering that goes into building the place, all the mechanical systems, which does technically make me one of the more dangerous people in there. If I had an interest in escaping, I want to break out of this HEPA filtered LEED silver certified building. Are you fucking kidding? LEED silver certified. I don't know if it's HEPA filtered. It probably is now. They're going to be putting them HEPA filters everywhere. The Honeywell ones, they're $200-300 if you buy them one at a time. 40 pods, you get 40 of those fucking things. They're perfect. And with the 30-foot ceilings or whatever, 10 meters or whatever the fuck it is, that's more than enough space because they suck the air in from the sides equally all around, and they blow it out the top like a funnel shape, like a cone shape. In these fucking places, I see things and I like, it's not just, oh, you could become a CO or you could fucking somehow work at a jail or so. There's that. And if you came up in the hood and you managed to get that job and keep it, don't let nobody fucking insult you for that. Don't hit them or anything because you'll go to jail, right? But tell them to fuck off, because real gangsters have respect for that. They see the value in that. Our mothers told us to fucking get a real job and all that shit too, don't you think? But I see other things too. All that when they install a TV set, it's not like in your house you just put in some screws and put it up. They got to figure out exactly how high to put it so people aren't going to throw shit at it. They got to both be the same, so they got two remote controls in case somebody smashes one of them. Fucking, because that'll happen, because people are idiots. Don't break the TVs, don't break the clock, don't break the phone, don't break the remote, you fucking dickheads. Because I'm telling you, if the CEOs are going to let anybody do anything, they'll let me smack your head off the ground a couple times before they stop me. And then they'll smack my head off the ground, because they were looking for an excuse for that too. But I'm telling you, it's a little parlay thing. I might think it's worth it. Because that'll clear up my bad credit of all the little things I do sometimes that I don't mean to do. Like on this pod, we were flushing the toilet all night. We don't give a fuck. No, why? Because it fucking stinks. We're locked in the fucking room all day anyway, and you cocksuckers were all PC. What the fuck was up with that? Because we're all locked in our cells 24/7. I swear to God, about 3/4 of the people we saw, I don't know how to phrase this. Their behavior gave indications that they were protection level of protective custody. I don't remember the number. It's P1 or P2. I was a P3. I don't know what I am now because I guess I was locked away from those people. I was never anywhere near those people. But my cellie was. Oh yeah, somebody told him too. Yeah, people talk too much. I don't know what you did to end up on PC, but why do I got to put up with your fucking ass? I'm locked in my fucking room because you're there. But anyway, you got to run wires everywhere and use the zip ties nice and neat. Things got to be labeled and shit too. Anything that has like an air filter or the light bulbs, they put a piece of tape and write the date they changed it. So when they come back, they know fucking how old the bulb is when it needs to be changed again. Because somebody has to come do that and has to get on a fucking 20-foot ladder and do that. And it's not likely to be a CO doing it. So somebody has to be there when you're not fucking there. And the more you fuck around, the longer it takes to fix these fucking things. If you trash a pod, all that'll happen is they'll shut it down and move everybody somewhere else. There's 40 of these fucking things. But that means you're going to be fucking overcrowded in the space you got. Fucking idiots. Oh, and if you're new, if you notice, there's There's like two, like the main area where we are is huge. There's a high ceiling. There's two levels of fucking cells, rooms, and call them cells. It sounds better, cellular, like a pod. But at the end of the thing, you can see, depending which cell you're in, you can see there's a second level where there's a CO always in there at a desk. They're not in the pod. They're outside the pod. But the glass is all right there. You will see this metal thing in the glass, and it's a round circle. You know what the fuck that is? They can pop that open and throw in a tear gas canister and shut it. And then they can turn off the ventilation. Or they could leave the ventilation running so that the good people run back to their cells and get fresh air. The smart people.
Try to jack me into do some dirty block.
Your grandfather block. I'm a butcher knife jack, cause I'm like that, I'm not a nice guy.
Don't be staring at me, watch I have her on my dick. Quicker than you motherfuckers ever did. I'm hella sick, I'm high up in the sky. I'm like Mount Everest, you pressure gets fucked. Get back from me, so sick with the accuracy. Step the fuck away, yo, you average G's ain't no match to me. Ain't no fucking way to box like me, man. So how you fuckers looking at me like me, man? Me, man, woman hater, still a part of it. Fuck that shit, a part of it. I fucking started it. I ain't got pneumonia. I got the bone for it. I ain't got pneumonia. I got the bone for it. I ain't got pneumonia. I got the bone for it. I ain't to the cross, feeling like a bad pump. Position love, I ain't got the jury. Position love, I ain't got the jury. Position love, I ain't got the jury.
Fuck 680 News. They're not going to tell me anything useful.
Switch on this, taps into it, like it going on trying. Every time a song plays, I notice my actions, everything is connected to the song. Yeah, it's weird. Well.
Yeah, by the way, even if you've been to jail, if you're not institutionalized, or even if you are, think about this. These motherfuckers will block off their fresh air intake and the return air if they can, and then fucking not flush the toilet all night during a fucking lockdown. What kind of mentality is that? That's fucked up. That's why some people, they belong in jail. I swear to God. I don't know where I belong, but I agree. Some people belong in jail. And we've been through this before. I'll get over this in a day or two. We'll be talking about other shit. Don't worry.
Money is all that I breathe. I got my tricks on my sleeve. My bitch a bit of a freak. I just came out of the womb. Need to be speaking my truth. You never stepped in my shoes. I'm pulling up in a few. Niggas don't know what to do. I'm taking all of the loot. I got my beer from the bay. We can be sipping all day. I got the blood in my veins. I got more gold on my chain. Nigga, I'm going
This is
insane.
prison labor.
I'm taking all of the hate.
This is legit prison labor. Look at it.
I disappear like a ghost.
See
I keep
that?
my ducks in a row. I keep that bitch on her toes. Whoa, when you step into my zone.
There are motherfuckers learning skills. You people throw these things on the ground after, don't you? You don't even think of the money it saves you, because everywhere you go, you gotta. They'll sell you a mask for $1 before they let you in the store. You can wash this shit because it's fabric. It's not. It's not.
Chilling with the homies makes it easier.
Same with this.
I can sip on 40s, I can sip on this.
By the way, I figured out what happened. These are Trillcore, which means manufactured here. It's prison labor. So the fuck what? That means somebody I know got fucking, I don't know, 50 cents a day or an extra donut or whatever the fuck they got. They got to keep their mind busy. You ever try to kill 16 hours from 4 p.m. to 8 a.m. with nothing, locked in a room? So these are Trillcore. This one says February 2018. I got it in 2019. The new ones, I believe they're coming from Pakistan. There's a registration number, which means it's being imported. Generally speaking, it's a commercial product somebody's buying. These don't have to be. They're making them in the jail and then just handing them to us. That's not being bought and sold. They may well have the registration numbers, but like it's a pattern number. It's basically so if they find out like, oh, That shipment of shirts was like soaked in gasoline and cordite. Oh dear, we can't do that. We have to recall those. They'll know which fucking ones they are. So that's why the new jumpsuits suck. And no, you can't have it. And in fact, they gave it back to me. Although it helps that the pants underneath are totally ripped. So if they did try to keep it, they'd be sending me out like halfway clothed. We can't do that. They would have to give me a new one. They'd still have to give it to me. But it was in my property bag. So that, as I stated before, my legal premise was correct. That since my property was gone, or for whatever reason, they couldn't. They cannot just release me to the public naked. They have to issue me something. They issued me this. This was my clothing in the fucking jail. If I didn't take care of it, it's my fucking problem now, isn't it? In South Africa, someone was recently evicted or arrested or something naked in the middle of the fucking night or something. And people are flipping out saying even during apartheid, they'd let you put your clothes on before they took you away. This is how bad some people are.
All night, man. I can sip on 40s. I can sip on this all night. All night. Yeah. What are you talking to me? Look at the price of the jeans. I got no time for a tease. Money is all that I breathe. I got my tricks on my sleeve. My bitch a bit of a freak. I just came out of the pool. Need to be speaking my truth. You never stepped in my shoes.
Oh, these is what they meant by hair ties.
I'm pulling up in a few. Niggas don't know what to do. I'm taking all of the loot. Whoa, take
These are for hanging a keychain off. This is for holding a keychain. These aren't hair ties. No, they wrote rubber bands and hair ties.
I got a Rello twisted thicker than a roster thread. Got me feeling nicer than home and lemonade. I got that bomb cut straight from Hiroshima. Orange Kush, call that bitch with Khalifa. President Obama got me smoking presidential. And on my weed man that ain't carry big credentials. Smoking on some banging grip straight from South Central. I told the head this and the head turned into vegetable. How you learning? While I'm burning, presidential Bill Clinton, and she's slurping, stank in the air, like a landfill. This could slide it in like a flame air. I smelled it through the jar, I was going out. Got it at the doctor's with the weed card. Experimental when it comes to the medical. Come at the NT, smoking presidential.
I'd like to take you on a little trip where I'm from. This is my favorite. It's little one running to the sound of his own drum beat, coming out the drum magazine.
Feeling like the president, middle state you never been. Kush out with Washington and Lincoln, Jefferson, Jackson, and Benjamin. We all cushed out on my tail medicine. I'm smoking on the type of weed to win awards. Presidential suite on the 420th floor. My weed man threw the Pineapple Express. Obama got me lifted, military dress. Passing up 420 on Air Force One. Smoking so much kush like I got 4 guns. THC releasing dopamine at high level. Got me laughing at everything like I'm real feral. Lighting up everywhere like it's legal. Lighting up like it's Christmas Kris Kringle. Smoking on Barack while drinking on Ciroc.
Kris Kringle. Yeah, fuck you. We're still out here.
Got me fucked up like I can whoop rock.
Black Pete's. Orange is the new what? Wheat turned carrots from purple to orange. And I watched us kick Austria's ass today on the big screen. The Netherlands just destroyed, just genocided Austria 2-0. at whatever the fuck UEFA is. What happened to FIFA? What the fuck is UEFA? I don't see. I got that Kringle crate. Oh, I fucked it up.
I got a Rello twisted thicker than a rotten bread. Got me feeling nicer than home and lemonade. I got that bomb cooking straight from Hiroshima. Orange Kush, call that bitch with Khalifa. President Obama.
And there's a man on a hunger strike apparently on the fucking unit. There's no way for us to know that because they won't let us near each other to talk whatsoever. There's no way to know. You have to observe for like 3 fucking days to. Why is he doing that? Yo, it's that other guy. Quick, look. You have to do that. There's no way else to figure out what's going on in the fucking whole facility. There's no way to know what's going on in the whole facility. You only can figure out sort of what's going on the half of the pod you can see. Like when they bring you out, if you're lucky enough to come out for your video court, and if you're not going to video court, you're not coming out. Shower, go fuck yourself. You think I'm joking? So there's someone on the fucking unit that I was on who was apparently doing some sort of hunger strike. He's not fucking around. They took us like to Sully figured it out. And it was, oh fuck, that's what it is. He kept saying, why are they bringing him this and that? Look at that, that's special stuff. That's not what they're bringing us. What's going on here? And they're putting it right on the table in front of his window. Everything. He puts a sheet up over the fucking window. I said, oh fuck. Now it took 3 fucking days to figure out. There's a man doing a hunger strike right now at the Toronto South. I'm not sure why. It doesn't really matter why. That's a thing of last resort in a jail.
Got me smoking presidential and on my weed.
30 seconds here. I might as well twist that up quick. Yeah, I never seen these trays before. The food comes on trays just like we're in NASA. It's a NASA training camp. It's a fucking moon base or a Mars base. That's how they're going to do it. They're going to bring pods and if anything goes wrong on one of them, like a decompression, all the people in the other pod will be like, oh, that's horrible, but you'll live, you know, like, everybody back to your quarters. What would you call it? Your quarters. Yeah, because it's fucking Star Trek, right? Oh, and if you think I'm an asshole for always talking to the CEOs and making jokes and shit, no, making them laugh is good. Hey, check this out. I asked for the damn milk on the floor all day for 2 days. And I kept getting the same answer from the ones who, leave it there. Well, he's African. He's telling me, leave it there. It's just not for me to question why. Leave it there. It took me 2 fucking days, 3 fucking days to figure out why. So the guy who threw it back out the hatch can see it. If anybody moves it, they lose that psychological thing. They think they're going to break him and he's just going to start eating. It was like, I don't fucking know. Anybody might start eating. Like, where do you draw the line on a hunger strike? Some people like will eat soup, like, but just then like liquid, no fucking solids or fucking juice or something. Because if you literally just stop eating, you'll fucking die fast. He's throwing out the milk and everything. You know, he's not eating nothing. There's water in his cell, I assume. They brought him out for something. They did bring him out. I don't think I should say too much because I don't know what they brought him out for. I'd be assuming, but he's not eating. And I don't know him. I know him from the pod. I don't know who the fuck he is or anything. They won't tell us none of this shit. It took 2 fucking people 3 fucking days to figure out what's going on, and we're both relatively smart on this shit.
Man, that ain't carry big good day.
Oh, they had us all in one pod. They're never supposed to do that. They're testing their ability to subdivide everybody. They can do it. And I proved you could fit 3 people in a cell because I slept on the floor the whole time. Because it said lower bunk only. Neither one of us can climb up that fucking bunk.
I got a Rello twisted thicker than a rotten bread. got me feeling nicer.
He's a Rasta man.
I got that mom kush straight from Hiroshima. Orange kush, call that bitch with Khalifa. President Obama got me smoking presidential. And on my weed man, that ain't carry big credentials. Smoking no so banging grip straight from South Central. I know the hit this and the head turned into legend. How you nervous while I'm burning? Presidential Bill Clinton, and she's slurping. Snake in the air like a dancing. This good slide that look like a plane accident. I smelled it through the jump. I was so high. Got it at the doctor's with the weed card. Experimental when it comes to the medical. Commander NT smoking presidential. Feeling like the president. Middle state you never been. Kush, Howard, Washington, and Lincoln. Jefferson, Jackson, and Benjamin. We all cushed out on Montel medicine. I'm smoking on the type of weed that win awards. Presidential suite on the 420 a flow. My weed man, dude, all Pineapple Express. Obama got me lifted, military dress. Passenger 420 on Air Force One. Smoking so much kush like I got 4 nuns. THC releasing dopamine at high level. Got me laughing at everything like I'm real feral. Lighting up everywhere like it's legal. Lighting up like it's Christmas Kris Kringle. Smoking over rock while drinking on some rock. Got me fucked up like I can whoop rock.
What's happening here? What the fuck? Oh, now it's gonna. Is that just. That's not the end. I skipped it back, didn't I? What the fuck just happened? Yeah, it might be into the fucking.
Y'all said me never did I warn you. Oh Lord, me tell you. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Take 'em out, bring 'em out dead. Westward, hit 'em in the head. 1 gun, 2 gun, 3 gun, 4, pure, 5. It's all about crime. That's who that is. Yo. Murder, who the hell heard of them Westwood with the blanket, them boy, me, murder, me never have peace, we make a black tape, come on, jump in the black sheep, go back, go out, go, the sucker, keep safe, the niggas can't play, no way, the shit he plays, I keep the sex, the black queen, England, and every ding-a-ling a thing, what we bringing, it's a demon and a fiend for the views, move, get up, please don't abuse. Yeah, we just choose it to burn the flag, cause I'm on that rebel shit, the level kick, 10 packs on the ass, yeah, pass when you drag, to the north, to the south, to the east, to the west, point, go on, yeah, Fred, what, hold it down, hold it down, hold it down, let the president hold it down, DJ Westwood, that's crazy.
All you have to do to collapse the bridge is get enough people marching in lockstep on that bridge, and the whole thing will start fucking. It's the only time, like, any army, if they get any experience at all, won't, but they tell you not to march, like, in unison, because they'll bring down the fucking bridge.
The DJ's on the mix, that tape or that tip, don't skip the dial, my nigga, that's foul. Now you can't get the chance to guess new music in that style. He's scratching, put in black and blue, cruise and glasses. No wonder I tune that radio show, jam, foes get slammed,
Okay, I need clarification on that recording, because that recording's from 1992, and he said iTunes. Did he not? Oh, I can't see the date on here. You know what? That's too creepy for me. No, I'm too high for that. I'll put on some fucking news or something shortly. I'm sure I will. I usually do. Watch, I'll find out somebody. No, this fucking thing when I was there last time, and then that was November 24th to December 1st. Yeah, I know, 8 days pre-custody plus 1 plus 6. I forgot that's 15 days. Thank you. That's a fortnight. And then the next thing I heard on the radio, I think it was around January, was that they moved like 150 or 180 fucking people out of at least one facility in Brampton to the Toronto South, mostly sex offenders. Oh, damn it. That must have been the Toronto Star. Somebody dug that up. How do you find that shit? That would be 4 full pods minimum, or 8, because they had everything down to half. That's why they were kicking us all out then. This isn't my fault. I'm not playing the system. I don't know that. I thought you could hold the whole fucking city in that jail the way you talk about it. Because I'm from the West End. What are all these people calling? I hope it's something useful.
I'm from the West End.
Oh, fuck,
I'm from the West End. Nigga, what you saying? I'm from the West End. I'm from the West End. Yo, I'm coming straight from the West End. Move from the chain to the West End. Watch how you talk when you walk through my hood, cause you know that my niggas be pressing. Heavy artillery weapons. Ain't really into the questions. I ain't condoning no violence. The youngins are wildin', they move kinda reckless. Got the keys, police stay patting niggas. Stay cheese, I'm familiar face taxing niggas. Safety, didn't even wanna slap the nigga, he made me. Ain't nobody telling me nothing. I knew from a youngin' that I be the one I hit something. Now all of these rappers is bugging. You live in the burbs and you act like you came up from nothing. Shout out to my niggas on the plaza. Lane to connections, Southside Gaza. When I roll my backwood, better have grabber. Never leave the house without my iPhone charger. Wallahi, my mollies will rob ya. Abdi Muhammad Mustafa. African man, that's my barber. Jamaican man, that's my shopper. Tell him the truth. Tell them the truth. These rappers, they lie in the booth. Lie in the booth. What's that got the realest? Just look at the proof. I'm living proof. The city's so litty cause we got the juice. We got the juice. So we got the juice. I'm from the West End. I'm from the West End. Nigga, what you saying? I'm from the West End. I'm from the West End.
This is a much worse
picture. Bench strip, jungle to the Rex we deep. I can tell a West End nigga by the way you speak, Birds tripping loud in the hood, always lose.
How you mean?
Lose they beaks. Know that shotty with bodies got dumped in the creek. Stop, freeze. Boy, them ain't looking for me. Bitch, you got that degree. What do you mean? Bitch, you don't know what I seen. Bitch, you ain't been on the scene. Record is clean. I'm too wavy. Man, cause your man wanna date me. I got the sauce, gravy. More than they cannot replace me. Cause I'm from the West End. Bitch, nigga, better watch that top. And find out you top to the cops. So when it turn hot on your block. I'm from the West End. So you claim you a bad man, but y'all wanna buy y'all crew. Let me show you what a bad y'all do. But you didn't know that I'm from the West End. I'm from the West End. Nigga, what you saying? I'm from the West End. I'm from the West End. Nigga, what you saying?
Which means yes, moving quickly, but it also means avoiding any further massive waves.
Meanwhile, the Prime Minister also announcing that we're going to be getting some sped-up deliveries of Moderna from the fall
want me to keep cleaning gutters?
and over the next month we'll be getting a flood of vaccines. So that by the end of July, our country will have received 68 million doses. Cormac McSweeney, Parliament Hill.
What the fuck's wrong with your brain?
By the fall, the federal government hopes to have its vaccine passport program in place, but a Vancouver business group is hoping it's done in coordination with other countries.
The idea here is a national certification of vaccine status at the federal level in partnership with the provinces. Greater Vancouver Board of Trade Chief Executive Bridget Anderson says linking up with other countries on this
the most fucking proactive pedophile on the fucking internet, dog. You gotta fuck off, right?
Is absolutely not the most effective way
Jesus Christ, man.
to be laying out.
Look what you choose to block out. You don't want nobody to hear news, right? What the fuck's wrong with your head?
Pressure to relax the restrictions has been building from businesses on both sides of the border and increasingly from American lawmakers as vaccination rates climb in Canada. The Prime Minister has moved up the timeline for fully vaccinating Canadians against COVID-19. Justin Trudeau says more Canadians will be able to get vaccinated sooner because millions of doses of Pfizer, BioNTech, and Moderna are arriving in Canada.
We certainly are very hopeful that everyone who is due is going to be fully vaccinated before September.
Until now, Trudeau has always maintained that every Canadian who wants to be fully vaccinated will be by the end of September. Albertans will have extra reason to celebrate on Canada Day, as the Premier has announced that will be the day all COVID restrictions will be lifted, making Alberta the only jurisdiction in Canada without any restrictions.
Mayor Jason Kenney is confident we won't need a plan B, as we'll also likely have around 40% second dose coverage by July 1st. But we'll manage any other outbreaks as they come forward, he adds, and hopefully they can be contained. Kenney says we shouldn't expect anything different here after reopenings in the United States.
Texas opened up completely on March the 6th, removed all public health restrictions after just for 15% first dose coverage. They've had huge public events. People have been living their normal lives for 3 months there.
While you should still practice common sense over the next few weeks and follow the existing health restrictions, he hopes people can start enjoying the season and getting back to normal soon.
Meantime, Alberta is accelerating second dose appointments once again.
All Albertans who received their first dose in May can book a second dose starting right now.
That's Health Minister Tyler Shandro, who added any Albertan who received a first mRNA dose in June can also now book their
The demon is a liar. He would like to confuse us. He will also mix lies with the truth to attack us. The attack is psychological, powerful. So don't mix them. Remember that. Do not mix them.
This is real life shit, can't change it for an instant. With blood, sweat, and tears, now everyone's against it. Trying to step in our way, man, your ass will get popped. Got homies on every corner, not afraid to get shot. You hear it drop, here comes the end of your life. Hollow points cutting through you like the edge of a knife. It's getting harder to see. Step away from the light, cause I'm the devil.
The most common murder weapon in Canada and the United Kingdom is edged weapons. It's not firearms. Like, we have all the same guns you can get in the U.S., just maybe not as many of them. We got different penalties for getting caught with that shit in public. Is the difference. Oh, it is. They said there's at least 8 million guns in this country.
refugees to Canada. Immigration Minister Marco Mendicino says this year the country will increase the number of protected persons admitted from just over 23,000 to 45,000. Over 40,000 protected persons and their families live in Canada awaiting permanent residency. A Vancouver restaurant owner is joining colleagues across the country saying many staple ingredients are more expensive than usual and the pandemic is to blame. L'Abattoir restaurant says increases for things like canola oil or vanilla paste are passed to the customer. Chefs at numerous restaurants say high international shipping rates, delays, and increases in grain costs have hurt their bottom line, and some owners are struggling to find ways to protect consumers from paying higher prices. A recent Restaurants Canada survey finds food costs are one of the top 3 challenges owners say they face this year. It's something no parent expects will happen to their child. BC Children's Hospital is out with a warning about falls from windows and balconies.
14 kids were hurt last year after falling from high elevations, and 2 have died this year. BC Children's pediatric neurosurgeon Dr. Ash Single breaks down some of the safety issues that can lead to these kinds of injuries.
People falsely think that their screen is going to help keep the kid in. It does not. They're not designed to hold up the weight of a child leaning up against it. If a child can squeeze their head through a space, they can usually squeeze the rest of their body through that space.
Some of the preventable measures include locking balcony doors and not placing anything that can be climbed onto near a window. Single says kids under 6 are most likely to suffer these kinds of injuries since they're often the most curious. I'm Bailey Nicholson.
It's 40 minutes after the hour. Coming up in 60 seconds, we'll have a look at your weather forecast. You're listening to All News Radio. It's a hard law of physics that you can't be 2 places at once. Though you try.
Bitch, you stole
because
that
you
from
are the facilitator, the comforter, the appointment keeper. But what if you're not there? And
well, I heard it from Lauren Hill, but I'm not sure if she got it from. But the conference was said a few times.
A Medicolor bracelet can step in for loved ones where you can't, so they'll always have a voice. It trusted 24/7 protection for those you worry about for only $5 a month. Sign up and get protected today at medicolert.ca.
If your business is too busy to answer all the calls and emails coming in, do what other successful companies have done and trust 3C. We talk about.
If you say PO, I'm gonna laugh my ass off. I swear to God. What was that?
It's Pride Month, so let's learn some history. Let's get into this. The phrase "coming out."
You better talk about the cops beating up queers and the queers beating up cops.
So many things to so many different people and groups. Abigail Segay, professor and chair at UCA Sociology, she wrote a book called "Come Out, Whoever You Are." And the idea for this research and book came when she was at a conference interviewing overweight people,
when I get to the end
and
of the
some of them used the term, "I'm coming out." And that's what got her interested in the phrase and all the things it means and stands for and has and all that good stuff.
Yeah, so this phrase "coming out" actually goes back much farther than many people realize. So I think it was like back in the 30s.
Whoa, bullshit. She was about to say the 30s. Where?
So the gay.
I'm not waiting for the whole fucking story. She said the 30s.
Each night before you go to bed, my baby, whisper a little prayer for me, my baby.
I saw a 57 Bel Air roll past here, motherfucker. Yeah, Bel Air. Yeah, 99% sure that was the model name of that. It's stock, it's brand new stock, but it sounded wonderful. That press brought the same thing around.
AM 740, Consumer Radio, the original greatest hits.
Trippz, we have summer of joy. For Alicia Walter, that means going to baseball games. Like this week's trip to Nationals Park here in Washington. She thinks the reopening is happening just right.
I think it's a good balance between too fast and not fast.
But a third of Americans in an AP-NORC Center for Public Affairs research poll think restrictions were ended too fast, and readjusting to normal life will take time. In Michigan, Phyllis Skripsik wants to get back to the gym. And it will happen.
But I've got to get prepared mentally, I think, for that.
Sagar Magani, Washington.
It's 43 minutes after the hour. I'm Azzy Kudri, and you're listening to All News Radio. Coming up in 60 seconds, a look at our top stories and a check of sports. You're listening to All News Radio.
Listen 3, 4, 5 times a day on your radio, on our mobile app, and on your smart speaker.
Play 680 News.
Hey, it's Dean Sickles from Willowdale Nissan. We've joined forces with our friends at High Park Nissan and Newmarket Nissan to bring some exciting sales to you this month. The Big Thrill Sales Event is finally here. Lease a 2021 Nissan Rogue for only $79 per week plus tax with $0 down, or get a Nissan Sentra for $214 per month plus tax and receive 3 years prepaid maintenance, including tire rotation on us. Call Willowdale, High Park,
I don't want you fucking using them lead weights. I'll be down.
If you've been deferring your payments, but it feels like you're dead.
Just give me some kind of sound, show me that you're mine, girl. Oh, yeah. Just give me some kind of sound, show me that you're mine, girl. All right. Just give me some kind of sound, just give me some kind of sound, girl. Show me that you're mine, girl.
Really? No. Something about this one. I'm doing this one, guys. I don't like it. Some of these songs irritate me.
And you were my man.
From Sportsnet Radio, here's Raja Shergill.
Well, let's start off in the National Hockey League. The Montreal Canadiens coming away with a Game 3 victory over the Vegas Golden Knights in the semi-final contest. Goaltending, the big story in this one. For Montreal, Carey Price was stellar, stops 43 of 45 shots. Meanwhile, for Vegas, Fleury with a critical error late in the third period that allowed the Habs to tie it up. And in overtime, Josh Anderson burying his second of the game to give Montreal the 2-1 series lead. Montreal had to do this without their head coach, Dominique Ducharme. He tested positive for COVID-19 ahead of the game.
That's why we changed our name to a couple generations.
Said the team is built to battle through these moments.
It's been up and down this year, but I feel like we've always responded well to the adversity. And tonight wasn't just another example.
Get to the football.
And not having Dom behind the bench is just another. It's
the lowest cost entry game for four
twist that we have to deal with. And I thought our assistant coaches did a great job of stepping up and doing a great job.
Game 4 goes on Sunday. Elsewhere in the NHL, Panthers captain Alexander Barkov winning the Selke Trophy for the NHL's best defensive forward. Barkov wins the trophy for the first time in his career. He becomes the first Panther to win it as well. In the Bigs, the Blue Jays have now dropped 5 straight. They lose to the Baltimore Orioles by a score of 7-1 in their series opener. Robbie Ray pitched 4 1/3 innings. He allowed 6 hits and 2 earned runs. Lourdes Gurriel Jr. with a solo home run for Toronto in this one. In the NBA, Philadelphia defeating Atlanta for a 7th deciding game. 104-99 the final. Winner heading to the conference finals. Game 7 will go on Sunday for that one. Meanwhile, the LA Clippers are headed to the conference finals for the first time in franchise history. They defeat Utah 131-119. Sports at 15 and 45 past every hour, or anytime at sportsnet.ca.
I'm Azzy Kudri. You're listening to All News Radio. Ontario has once again broken a single-day vaccination record as that province's daily COVID-19 case count stays below 400. All News Radio's Alex Bloomfield has more on that and a breakdown of Friday's data.
345 new cases of COVID-19, over 26,000 tests, a positivity rate of 1.4%, and only 1 new COVID-related death reported, the fewest since we last hit 0 in mid-October. On the vaccine front, another
that's a technicality, eh?
10,638 shots into arms.
Like 10,000 people.
Of Ontario adults are now fully vaccinated. That's the step 2 target, though other metrics play into activating the next step of reopening, such as hospitalizations, which are down again, 378 total, 352 in ICU. I'm Alex Bloomfield.
U.S. President Joe Biden is
you don't understand what that means? Like all the people that used to work on the ICU are wore out. They've been replaced by new people. There's no ICU capacity. It doesn't matter how many numbers.
Wartime response, we've gotten 300 million shots in the arms of Americans in 150 days. Months ahead of
because I don't want you sticking me with weird stuff that'll kill me when I'm unconscious.
But as Biden marks the new milestone on Friday, another goal may fall short. His self-imposed target to have 70% of Americans at least partially vaccinated by July 4th.
The freaking paramedic with sickle cell shows I feel no better than a fucking touch.
Says 42.6% of the U.S. population have been fully vaccinated. Top World Health Organization officials are warning about rising numbers of COVID-19 cases and deaths in Africa. WHO Director General Tedros Adhanom Ghebreyesus says a huge number of countries have been forced to suspend giving second doses of coronavirus vaccines because of short supplies. He says wealthy countries have pledged to share billions of doses, but time is of the essence.
Canada is giving back the doses.
Next year will be far too late.
We're donating the doses we thought we were getting.
Or being infected today, or at risk today.
What about all the dead people floating down the river into the ocean and shit, bro? All the cremations
and a 32% rise in deaths in Africa related to the pandemic in the last week. The UN Refugee Agency says war, violence, human rights violations, and other factors caused nearly 3 million people to flee their homes last year. UN Refugee Commissioner Filippo Grandi says the latest global trends report shows the number of displaced people has risen to more than 80 million.
This year's report, which applies to 2020, indicates a further increase.
I was going to check
the United Nations. 79.5 million refugees and displaced in the previous report to 82.4 million this time around.
That total is a new post-Second World War record.
Little tiny Kellogg's box
It's
like
50 minutes after the hour. Coming up in 60 seconds, we'll have a look at your weather forecast. You're listening to All
Two bags, two different stuff. You got the Special K, I got Rice Krispies.
Toronto.
Hey, it's Marcus from Connect. Are you looking for a home equity loan, second mortgage, or reverse mortgage? Stop. Are you considering refinancing your mortgage? Wait.
I'm trying to figure out how to get my name on somebody else's house, bro.
Penalties, or being pushed into high interest rate second mortgages and unsecured loans. Call Connect.
J'ai découvert le monseignelier qui serait l'arbre le plus toxique au monde. On l'appelle l'arbre de la mort. Donc, c'est un arbre qui est originaire des régions tropicales du sud de l'Amérique du Nord, de l'Amérique centrale, des Caraïbes, puis des parties nord de l'Amérique du Sud. Et c'est un arbre qui produit une sève épaisse et laiteuse, qui est un genre de latex de partout. Donc, de l'écorce, des feuilles, même du fruit. Toutes les parties de l'arbre sont toxiques. Donc, pour les gens qui aiment beaucoup pratiquer ce qu'on appelle le tree hugging, embrasser les arbres, peut-être pas faire ça sur le monseignelier, ça pourrait très mal finir. Se tenir debout sous l'arbre pendant une pluie, ça peut tuer. Après ça, qui va faire ça? Moi, j'ai appris ça relativement tôt dans ma vie, que quand il y a un orage électrique, la dernière place où aller se cacher, c'est en dessous d'un arbre, mais bon. Donc, le latex de l'arbre est vraiment toxique. C'est une sorte d'inflammation. Quand on touche la sève, ça crée une sorte de réaction inflammatoire, puis même le bois est toxique, et les bûcherons puis les menuisiers qui travaillent doivent prendre des grandes précautions, en fait, même pour faire sécher le bois et enlever toute la sève si on veut en faire des meubles, parce que oui, il y a quand même, malgré tout, des gens qui vont faire des meubles avec ça. Alors moi, je vous dirais, si jamais vous avez un ennemi que vous n'aimez pas beaucoup, peut-être lui offrir une table à café en mensualier sans avoir enlevé l'assiette au préalable. Je fais ça comme ça.
J'apprends plein de choses, j'adore ça. Là, j'ai l'impression d'être aux années-lumière, mais en version vendredi soir. La deuxième catégorie numéro 2, les recherches insolites qu'on pourrait peut-être aussi appeler les recherches par rapport.
Oui. Ce qui est arrivé, en fait, ça, Chloé, comme tu le disais plus tôt, Gabriel et moi, on a commencé à travailler à Radio-Canada avec toi en même temps, il y a 5 ans. Puis techniquement, on a reçu la même formation.
Following government guidelines on COVID safety. The judge sided with the state of Florida, which says it's being harmed by strict guidelines for cruise ships set by the U.S. Centers for Disease Control. The CDC presented a 4-phase conditional framework to allow cruise ship operations to resume, including rules on wearing masks and requiring proof that most passengers have been vaccinated.
Provide a guarantee about the ventilation systems working?
The judge's preliminary injunction prevents the CDC from enforcing its health order, pending further legal action, and orders both sides into mediation. Florida Attorney General Ashley Moody praised the decision, saying the federal government does not, nor should it ever, have the authority to lock down an entire industry indefinitely. I'm Jackie Quinn. Videos released under court order are providing a chilling new look at the chaos at the U.S. Capitol on January 6th. Body camera footage shows a man charging at a police officer with a flagpole. Reporter Alana Durkin-Richer has more.
The Associated Press and other news outlets went to court to force the Department of Justice to release this video and other videos so we can show the public what was truly happening on the ground that day.
The new videos show a Marine Corps veteran and former New York City police officer wielding a flagpole as he attacks police as well as riders, crushing another officer into a door as he yells in pain. The videos are being presented as evidence in prosecutors' cases against 3 men charged with assaulting police. California governor assaulted Supreme. We're learning now that California Governor Gavin Newsom was assaulted by a man in Oakland on Thursday during an official stop.
Governor Gavin Newsom was walking to a barber shop and pizzeria in Oakland to promote small business when the California Highway Patrol, which provides security for the governor, says he was approached by an aggressive individual. That man was seen taken to the ground by a plainclothes CHP officer protecting the governor. Newsom did not appear injured, and he joked to different people in different ways of saying hello. The man was booked for resisting an executive officer and assaulting a public official. Alex Stone, ABC News.
Coming up in 60 seconds, a look at business on All News Radio.
Oh, and apparently somehow I'm 140 pounds now.
With powerful VA towing that'll haul.
Then the woman said, I can't guarantee that scale's right. Oh,
the truck can be built for comfort, the kind that gets awarded most luxurious in its class. But when it's Ram 1500, it turns out a truck can be built for both.
No, I need the 5500 with the turbo diesel.
$4,750 in discounts on Ram 1500.
I need $0 down.
$3,000 in loyalty bonus cash.
And I need you to deliver it to somewhere where, like, I'll be wearing a bandana so you won't see me, right? That's it.
To play the Gomez Kids Camp Lottery. Ticket sales close this Sunday.
How many trucks I wonder how many vehicles I can qualify for if I apply for them all at once.
In prizes. And all ticket proceeds go directly to CYO Kids Camp. Help Gomez make summer camp a reality for all kids. Donate today at kidscamplottery.com. And Sunday. Ontario residents only, 19 and over. License number RAF 1204090.
680 News is everywhere.
Then your smart speaker.
Ask to play.
That would make more money.
Playing 680
I don't have
News.
to ask for money.
It's 56 after the hour with a look at business. Here's
not
Stuart
sure.
McGinn.
Evidence of Canada's troubled housing market just keeps
Oh, they
adding
might
up.
be doing the
Stats Canada
national
was out with the
thing from
country's
there.
latest household mortgage debt numbers today, which rose another 1% in April to just under $1.7 trillion. That monthly climb is the fastest pace we've seen Canadians take on debt to purchase property in more than a decade.
You
And certainly
told
rising
them
costs for a
to!
home aren't helping here. The price for a house in Canada
So
is
I'm
up
gonna
an
get
average
pissed off, but they've been telling
38% to just
people to
over
buy this shit for fucking.
$688,000. While mortgage debt continues to rise, there is some good news in that over the course of the pandemic, credit card and line of credit debts have mostly moved in
Like
the other
my
direction.
rent times
Main
1,000.
Street moved in a
Like, I
losing
won't live
direction
that
this
long.
week, down 0.7% over the last 5 days. Today,
Like,
the
how the
TSX
fuck
was
can I
down
do that?
146 points to just above 20,000.
No,
Despite
I'm
the
being dead
losing week,
serious.
though,
You want me to
it was
fall
quite a
for
good
this?
5-day
All
stretch for a pair of Canadian companies, continuing to rack in interest for those playing the reopening trade.
Yeah,
Transat shares gained another 7.5% today. Its airline's been announcing restart plans all week, and there's
Don't use that word when you're talking about dividends.
Border restrictions for anyone who's fully vaccinated. Transat shares were up about 20% this week. Same for shares of Shopify, Canada's top tech company, seeing heightened trading activity for its stock after the announcement of its expanded partnership with Google and Facebook just a few days ago. Today,
what about Sidewalk Labs?
1.7%, or about 30
heated sidewalks and intelligent garbage cans. They're going to tell the city when they're full.
Ended with a sell-off tied back to interest rate fears from Wednesday's Fed announcement. The Dow down more than 500 points at the close, or 1.6%. The S&P 500 was down 55, or 1.3%, and it was a nearly 1% fall for the Nasdaq, down to 14,030. The Dow, though, the big headline, because this week it fell 3.5%, making it its worst week since January. As for commodities today, gold down just $6, oil up 60 cents to 71.64 a barrel. The looking at 80.4 cents US.
Now they have video cameras all over
the business center. I'm Stuart McGinn.
Everything's changing.
This is All News Radio.
Apparently not, you bastards.
My mojo ain't working, my mojo is down, my mojo ain't working, it's where.
Oh, I said, never town, really turn that way. But that was then, and now you know, just too bad. I can't get set, so I guess I'm here to stay.
Why do you keep coming back to Aaron Park Toyota?
Well, I mean, if I buy one, I buy the next one here. Why should I go to another dealer? The first time was in early 2000 something. Well, I'm on my fourth car now. I always got good service, no problem.
You found that here.
Yeah.
Aaron Park. It's Red Tag Days. Get 0.49% lease rates up to 39 months on 2021 Corollas. All with Toyota Safety Sense. Aaron Park.
680 News is CFTRAM.
Toronto.
You know how much all this plastic will cost me if I buy it at Staples? It says Staples and half this shit.
For breaking news, this is All News Radio.
This shit is.
Good morning. I'm Isaiah Khan. Here's what's making news right now. The Trudeau government is extending travel restrictions at all our borders for at least another month, as the Prime Minister says Canada is going to get another flood of Moderna vaccines in the coming weeks. We're one step closer to international travel as the Fed set a bold goal for the creation of a vaccine passport. Alberta's Premier hopes we will be open for good. We now have the way out of this. All COVID-19 restrictions set to be removed on July 1st.
A reminder from BC Children's Hospital that hot weather can lead to tragedy if you don't take safety precautions with open balcony doors and windows.
Hey, what's the one thing you have to do the other?
Josh Anderson with 2 goals as the
Montreal Canadiens upset the Vegas Golden Knights in Game 3
of the semifinals and take a 2-1 series lead. Sports at 15.
A losing end to a losing week for markets, but not the same story for meme stocks, with an analytics firm saying there's more than meets the eye for AMC Entertainment business at 26.
Those stories and more coming up in 60 seconds.
From the 680 News Traffic Center, I'm Jocelyn Graywell. Throughout the GTA, you can expect a pretty quiet drive right now. We are still seeing a lot of maintenance, though. So if you're traveling eastbound on the 401 at Kipling and the Express to approaching the DVP and the Express, all lanes are blocked off for some maintenance. Westbound 401 around to Kennedy, both ways is shut down for construction. Some collector closures. Westbound 401 as you approach Allen and the collectors to approaching Jane and the collectors, all lanes are blocked off for some maintenance. And because of this, we have ramp closures in between those collector closures. So the northbound Allen ramp, the southbound Avenue ramp to the westbound 401 is blocked. The Keel ramps to the westbound 401 are also blocked. Your next report is at 411. Let's take a look at the forecast.
We're in for a warm weekend, waking up to temperatures in the mid to high teens and getting up to 27 degrees today, humid X30. It's going to be partly cloudy, more sun to the north and east, and then late day showers and thunderstorms possible. Pretty isolated though. Sunshine for Father's Day in 28. Today's high 27 degrees.
The hour. Our top story on All News Radio. Don't book your summer vacation abroad just yet, as Ottawa is extending the restrictions at the border for another month. All News Radio's Cormac McSweeney reports this comes despite expectations it would reopen soon.
The Trudeau
It's
government
fucking
has
blank.
decided
What the
that
fuck?
restrictions
You can't fill
against
these out
non-essential
blank,
travel
cocksuckers.
will be extended until July 21st. This despite a recent push from businesses, politicians, and travel and tourism groups to start easing the border shutdowns right away. Prime Minister Justin Trudeau says they're being cautious because variants still pose a risk, and we've not hit our vaccination targets yet, noting fully vaxxed travelers can still pass on the virus. On Monday, the federal government will be announcing new measures for fully vaccinated Canadians that are currently allowed to travel. They have already signaled that that will include ending the full quarantine. Cormac McSweeney, Parliament Hill.
And the federal government is hoping to have a vaccine passport system in place by the fall. That brings us one step closer to international travel, but one business group says it has to be done right.
The wording here from the feds, they're working with the provinces on a national certification of vaccine status that can be shared with other countries. Bridget Anderson is chief executive of the Greater Vancouver Board of Trade and says a key here will be coordinating with other countries.
There are dozens and dozens of different platforms and documents that are being developed around the world. So consistency will be very, very important. And even consistency across Canada as well to understand what the guidance is and what those policies are going to be.
As for how this is developing elsewhere, the European Union is providing digital vaccine certificates, but the U.S. hasn't indicated much interest at this point in an international vaccine passport. I'm Martin McMahon.
Prime Minister Justin Trudeau says Canada is getting millions of doses of Moderna's COVID-19 vaccine ahead of schedule.
Sorry.
Just like we surpassed our delivery numbers for the first quarter of this year, we're doing
You're the worst drug dealer in the world.
That'll mean for the end of June, as promised, we'll be at well over 50 million doses total.
By the end of July,
you know how much heroin is
Canada
coming out of
will have received
Afghanistan
over
thanks to the United
68
States right now, you
million doses.
bastards.
And it's the first province in Canada to do this. Alberta is removing all of its COVID restrictions on July 1st.
Premier Jason Kenney says it's fitting to reopen on Canada Day when many people will be enjoying a holiday and celebrating anyways. He says it's been a grueling year, but vaccines are giving us what he calls a superpower.
We now have the way out of this, which is the miracle of modern science of these vaccines. Embrace it. Say yes to the science.
There's no plan B, though, as Kenney hopes we will be open for good, pointing to declining cases in the U.S.
How could American states open up at radically lower levels of vaccine coverage and have dropping infections, dropping cases, dropping hospitalizations? And how could we not experience the same thing?
I'm Tom Ross.
Alberta is looking forward to fully reopening, but it's also looking forward to getting out more second doses.
Alberta is accelerating its rollout of second COVID-19 shots and aiming for a double-dose summer.
All Albertans who received their first dose in May can book a second dose starting right now.
Health Minister Doug Shinder says anyone who received a first dose of Moderna or Pfizer in June will need to wait 4 weeks before they get their second. And for those who got AstraZeneca, they'll have to wait a little longer.
We recommend that you wait at least 8 weeks for your second dose to ensure maximum protection. And I want to emphasize that's not because of any concern about the AstraZeneca vaccine or because of supply or anything else. It's because it actually works better if you give it a little longer.
I'm Jeff Slack.
Ongoing concern over the AstraZeneca shot is drawing the attention of both Ontario and the Prime Minister. All News Radio's Mark Douglas has reaction to the latest immunization guidelines and how they could affect your travel plans.
The Ontario government maintains getting 2 doses of AstraZeneca is just fine. But it was only Thursday when NACI said if you got AZ for your first dose, mixing it up with Pfizer or Moderna for your second dose is the preferred way to go. But a statement from Queen's Park says, quote, if you had AstraZeneca for your first dose, you can safely take either AstraZeneca, Moderna, or Pfizer for your second dose for strong protection, unquote. Now, as for whether or not Canadians with a double dose of AZ will be allowed to travel to the U.S. or any other country that does not use the AstraZeneca vaccine, Prime Minister Justin Trudeau says they're still working on it.
We are engaged in discussions with Americans on that and with partners around the world.
I'm Mark Douglas.
The number of confirmed COVID-19 cases attributed to the highly contagious Delta variant has jumped 66% in Canada since about a week ago. Canada's Chief Public Health Officer, Dr. Theresa Tam, says as of Friday, More than 2,000 cases of the variant have been confirmed all across all 10 provinces and in one territory. Just 3 days ago, the Public Health Agency of Canada told the Canadian press there were 1,100 cases. The variant was first identified in India. The Alpha variant, first identified in the UK, is for now the dominant variant in Canada. An RCMP service dog has been shot and killed during a police pursuit in Alberta. In a tweet, Mounties say Jago died while on duty during an incident near High Prairie on Thursday. The suspect who shot the dog also died shortly after he was arrested. Investigators do not say what injuries the 29-year-old had or how he died. The incident unfolded when police tried to stop the suspect, who was wanted by the police. They say he was armed and dangerous and had fled a traffic stop. Jago was reportedly shot during the pursuit. The Saskatchewan government will provide $2 million for residential school research in the province. This money is intended to help the Federation of Sovereign Indigenous Nations learn more about undocumented deaths and unmarked burials at school sites in Saskatchewan. Chief Bobby Cameron says a major part of this initiative will be consultation with survivors.
A big portion of it will go to our survivors' input, their stories on where to start, and the whole protocols and ceremonies do have to continue and will continue. So the survivors will have a big voice.
You just went crazy.
Cameron says the Federation hopes to begin this work as soon as possible. The Federation has identified a number of former residential school sites in the province where more research is needed, including at Onion Lake, Beauville, and Sturgeon Landing. And now for a quick weather check before we get into the in-depth look around the country. So we'll start off in Calgary. You have rain, high of 16 degrees that's going to be for Saturday.
This is nothing to do office today. This is why they're fucking CEOs and cops.
Showers, high of 27. In Vancouver, mainly sunny, high of 19 degrees. So it's almost 10 minutes past the hour. Coming up in 60 seconds, look at your in-depth weather forecast. You're listening to All News Radio.
Hey Toronto, Brenda's Hair, Nails, and Wow is finally open again. And we've got some amazing deals to celebrate. Patent color, just $200. The cost of 30 minutes rent. Gel polish and manicure for just 8 minutes of our wage bill. And kids manicures for less than 20 minutes of electricity costs. Treat yourself at Brenda's Hair, Nails, and Wow. Open Monday to Sunday.
This feels like Family Feud. Like fucking how many people, so 3 utter threat to cause death. I don't know. 2 assault weapon. Weapons dangerous, carry concealed weapon, assault, failed to comply release, of course. I'm on 4 now. I didn't think I was making bail. I didn't think I was making bail the last 3 times. I thought I would have gone to court by now, and one way or another, the dead time would have got me out of court, out of custody. Basically. This is 2019. They'll apply release. And of course, just for good measure, if they keep calling me like, I don't want to even say it, but theft under. Thank you.
Route to the eastbound 401 and the express is shut down for repairs as well. Westbound 401, the route to Kennedy is closed both ways for maintenance. Northbound Allen route to the westbound 401 is also shut down, and this is because of the collector closures. Westbound 401, as you approach Allen and the collectors to approaching Jane and the collectors, all lanes are shut down for maintenance. 407 route going on to the southbound 404 also shut down for repairs. Your next report is at 421. Let's take a look at the forecast.
Partly cloudy skies today, and it's going to be a warm weekend. 27 degrees, 30 is what it's going to feel like with partly cloudy skies and a chance for some isolated showers and storms. Mainly sunny Sunday and 28.
The guy that got released ahead of me stole the fucking
Monday
pen.
with a cold front coming through, gusty winds.
I had to wait 2 more minutes because of you,
Today
bastard.
high 27.
It's 12 minutes after the hour. I'm Isaiah Khan, and you're listening to All News Radio. It's a reminder from BC Children's Hospital as the weather warms up. Keep your kids safe around open windows.
According to the BC Trauma Registry, 14 children were treated after falling from high elevations in 2020 . And so far this year, several more children have been hurt and 2 have died after serious falls. BC Children's pediatric neurosurgeon Dr. Ash Single says it's a tragic situation that no parent wants to be in.
I'd say the numbers last year were a little higher than previous years, and the numbers this year look probably similar, and it might have something to do with the fact that a lot of people are in their houses quite a bit.
Some tips to prevent this include not leaving kids unattended on balconies, installing window guards, and moving things that can be climbed on, like chairs, away from windows. Kids under 6 are most at risk during the hotter months between April and September. I'm Bailey Nicholson.
Prime Minister Justin Trudeau is defending an embattled cabinet minister who was censored by the House of Commons. Trudeau says Defense Minister Harjit Sachin has spent his life serving Canada.
What happened now?
He's been
I was in jail for a week. I don't know.
The culture of our military. He's working to combat sexual misconduct in the armed forces, including on expanding the Sexual Misconduct Response Center. And he will keep doing that work.
Okay, wait,
MPs passed a motion brought by the Conservatives expressing the opposition's disappointment in Sachin, who has faced criticism for his handling of a sexual misconduct allegation against former top soldier Jonathan Vance. Coming up in 60 seconds, we'll have a look at our top stories and a check of sports on All News Radio.
Anymore because they're all getting charged of those weird shit.
Now more than ever.
Listen 3, 4,
No,
5 times a
you
day.
have the worst fucking news.
Ask to play us on your smart speaker.
Your savings are big during the summer sale at Dodge Garage Doors. Dodge Platinum Canadian Series Garage Doors are on sale for the first time ever. Made right here in the GTA, designed to thrive in our climate and backed by an industry-leading warranty. It's not just a garage door, it's a Dodge door. Sale ends July 16th, so don't wait and don't miss the summer sale at Dodge Garage Doors.
D-O-D-D-S. No one does it better than Dodge does. No one. So you went out drinking and you did the right thing. You left the car at home. Thank you. But did you know that if you drank a lot and stayed up late, you could still have alcohol in your system?
Yeah, we all know
that.
The police only figured it out 5 years ago. I'm not even joking.
It can take up
2016, they flipped out. They're like, oh no, you could be drunk in the morning. They never did drive checks in the morning. Drunk people knew that.
Sleep, coffee, or a shower sobers you up any faster. A message from Arrival Lab Drive Sober and ChangeTheConversation.ca.
This is All News Radio.
No, you're on sports. You better talk about this soccer game. Football.
I'm Isaiah Khan. Here's what's making news right now. Rethink your vacay plans as the Trudeau government extends Canada-U.S. border restrictions for another month. The next step to international travel, a vaccine passport. The feds are looking to have a vaccine passport system in place by fall. And after sports, as we prepare for back to normal life, getting back to be normal may be a challenge mentally. Time now for your sports update from Sportsnet Radio. With your Friday night wrap-up, here's Raja Shergill.
The Montreal Canadiens pulling off a major heist against the Vegas Golden Knights and take Game 3 by a score of 3-2. Josh Anderson had 2 goals, including the overtime winner to give Montreal that victory. Vegas seemingly had this in the books, but goaltender Marc-Andre Fleury with a major turnover in the final moments of the game, which allowed Montreal to tie it up. It was Josh Anderson with the easy tap-in, and then in overtime, Anderson struck again.
Waiting for it to return to earth was Riley Smith, but it's poked away at the blue line. Oh, a bad change by Vegas, and here's a chance. And Anderson scores! The overtime game winner, Josh Anderson from Paul Byron, and Montreal has stolen.
Against them to try things on themselves. And then the second thing will be we're going to start to see, because we're seeing this already in the polling data, people starting to believe that demanding vaccines to do certain things in society. I think we saw an announcement today from one of the playhouses in New York City about not allowing people in who didn't have a specific type of vaccine.
C'est un peu d'un sauna, donc on vient dans les croyances, la chaleur va venir nous purifier d'une certaine façon, d'une certaine manière, et puis là, c'est à travers les champs.
2 earned runs. Warren Escorial